If I could have, Iris, this is what I would have offered you. Anything less would have been inadequate.
It's lovely, Alex.
The bounty of the earth, all the good things in life. This is the breakfast we missed, the one I should have been able to give you. Will you share it with me now?
Oh, Alex. If only you had stayed with me, the plainest bread would have been a feast. But now it's too late. I have no appetite.
Iris.
No, Alex. It's been too long.
Iris, listen. Listen. The music. You recognize it?
Of course. How could I forget? Every band, every radio, everywhere we went, they were all playing that song
when we met. When we fell in love. I can't think of those 3 days with you without hearing it. In all my coldest and loneliest moments, I've played that song. It was like the first green shoots of spring in the midst of an endless winter.
Did you? And I thought only I remembered.
Then you haven't forgotten.
How could I forget? During all the long, empty years when my memory was all I had to sustain me. Like bitter wine that burned me as I thirsted for it. How could I forget? You abandoned me. When you left me, Alex, you knew where you were going. You knew how to fill all the empty hours in your pursuit of all this.
Iris, it was for you.
Was it? You say so. Did you ever pause even for an instant on your way to the top and think, what does Iris feel?
Every moment. Every instant, all I could think of was you.
Oh, no, Alex. That couldn't have been. Or you would have realized what you'd done to me. You would have never come back into my life.
When I saw you at the opera, if you'd been happy, if I could have seen that, I would have slipped away. You would never have known.
You would have disappeared again?
Iris.
No, Alex. You've had your say. You told me why you left. What you did all those long years. Well, I've dreamed of this moment, too. But for a different reason. Oh, how I have hated you sometimes. How I've longed to stand in front of you to tell you what you did to me, what your leaving made of my life.
And then you thought of me.
Well, there were times when I couldn't think of anything else. When I wanted to scream, why, Alex? Why did you desert me? Why did you reject me?
No, darling, I never rejected you. I carried you in my heart, always.
And how did you expect me to know that? Oh, Alex, when I fell in love with you, it was the first time. I didn't know any better then. I thought that love meant giving yourself completely.
I did. And I did. Completely.
Did you? Then where were you? Where were you when I woke up the next morning and turned to you and there was nothing?
I had to go back to my tinker.
I couldn't believe you were gone. I called your room and they said you had checked out, left. Without me, I felt as though my world had cracked open.
Darling, believe me, if there'd been any other way,
I was frantic. I told myself, no, he can't leave me. He loves me. As I love him, I ran through the streets like a mad woman. People stared at me, but I didn't care. All I could think was, he must be here. He must be here. I ran all the way to the harbor, to the yacht. This yacht. And when you weren't there, I walked in a daze.
It was you.
What?
When I left, on the tanker, I looked back one last time. I looked back and saw someone, a girl, all in white, standing on the pier. I imagined it was you.
I don't remember where I walked. I don't remember very much at all about the next few days. I felt as though I had fallen into a gulf of hideous emptiness. I didn't eat. I barely slept. I dreaded the nights for the dreams that would come and the days for the people I had to talk to.
Oh, darling, I didn't think how horrible it was for
For a
you.
time, I thought I would never feel anything again. And then the questions came, like lightning flashes out of the void, lashing me. Why did Alex leave? He had everything, but he left you. What's wrong with you, Iris? Where is the flaw? Alex saw it. Weren't you good enough for him? Weren't you good enough?
No. I was the one who wasn't worthy. I didn't deserve your love. I couldn't claim it. Not until I was your equal.
My equal? Do you know how bitter it is to hear those words when I felt I hadn't been good enough for you? Don't you see? I opened myself to you completely. You knew me better than anyone ever had. And knowing me so well, you rejected me. What else could I think?
I thought, whatever pain you've been through, I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make up for it.
No, Al. That is impossible. When you left, my life shattered. Like a mirror dropped on the floor. You can never put it together again. Never get a true image.
I can try. We can try.
I could never really love anyone. I could never piece myself back together. Whatever I gave was incomplete. If I tried to care for someone, that memory was always present. I never gave myself or trusted anyone to give themselves. I always knew, you see, they would find my flaw. And that sooner or later, they would leave me too. Oh,